Welcome students. Today we are going to continue our chapter number 12, that is simple machines. In the last part we have started about simple machines. We have seen some simple machines, some complex machines, their definitions. We have started with some of the simple machines, like we have seen about inclined plane. So now, due to the inclined plane, it becomes easier for this person Hamid A to load the heavy drum. Okay. Then we have seen, due to the inclined plane, that is on the screw there are on the screw there are these threads, so that are in an inclined way, so it becomes easier for the that screw to penetrate inside the wood. Okay. Similarly, on the top to climb to the top of the mountain, if the way is straight, it is very difficult to climb it. But if the way is made in an inclined way, like zigzag way, it becomes easier to climb the top of a mountain. Now let us see some of the more simple machines in this chapter, like wedge, lever. We are going to see pulley. So these are some of the important simple machines which we are going to see. Now, before starting with the wedge, second important simple machine, let us see let us see about Archimedes screw. What is this Archimedes screw? Children, the Greek scientist Archimedes invented the machine shown in this picture. That is why it is called as a Archimedes screw. This machine is called as a, children, Archimedes screw. It is given to you in this picture. They have shown you. It was used. What is the use of this machine? It is used to lift the water from the hold of a ship. Children, you know about ship. In the ship, there is one place that is hold. It is used for collecting the things, but sometimes what happens, the water gets collected into that hold. So to lift the water from that place, Archimedes screw is used. How is this machine works? Archimedes used a round pipe fitted with a rod. Children, this is a round pipe, upper one, and it is fitted inside. This is a rod. Okay, children, the pipe is placed this pipe is placed at an angle of 45 degree. Okay, and with one end inside the water. It's this pipe's one end is inside the water. Can you see? This is the ship's at one end, it is inside the water, and it is placed at an angle of 45 degree. 45 degree means it is inclined plane. Yes or no? This is a ship over here, and it is kept in a inclined plane at an angle of 45 degree. So when the rod was turned, this rod has got one handle. Can you see at up? This is a handle. When this handle is rotated, what happens? The water gets lifted up. Understood? So this rod has got this screws inside. That is why this is called as a Archimedes screw, and it is kept in an inclined way so that it is easier to lift the water when the handle is rotated from the top. So this was the working of Archimedes screw. Now let us see the second important simple machine, that is wedge. Let us study about wedge. This is one of the second important simple machine. First we have seen about inclined plane. Now let us see about wedge. What is wedge? Children, wedge is nothing but it is a sharp tool formed by joining two inclined planes. When two inclined planes are joined like this, okay, we get a tool called as a wedge, and it is a sharp pointed tool. Okay, a wedge is used for breaking an object into two pieces or separate objects stuck together. It is used to break an object, like this axe is used to break the object. So these are nothing but they are the sharp tool. Okay, you can give examples like axe, knife, chisel is used by the carpenters. It is like a knife only, can say. They are used mostly by carpenters. These are some of the examples of simple machines. A needle and nail also you can give under example of wedge. So this is the picture given. These are all the wedge because they are formed by joining two inclined planes like this. Okay, and sharp tool is formed. That sharp tool is called as a wedge. Remember this examples you can give: knife, chisel, axe, needle. Needle is also a sharp. Nail. So all these are the examples of wedges. Remember this. If anyone asks you give two examples of wedges, you can give anything: knife, axe, needle, nail. Okay, and what is the definition of wedge? It is formed by joining two inclined planes. Now let us move further. Use your brain power. A needle is required for stitching cloth. Everybody knows a needle is used for stitching cloth. We use a knife for cutting fruit. If the tip of a needle or the edge of a knife becomes blunt, then the needle does not penetrate the cloth and the knife does not cut the fruit. Why this is so? Children, the sharpness reduces. If the knife is not cutting the fruit or the needle is not penetrating into the cloth, that means its sharpness has reduced. So we have to sharp the tool. Now let us start with the third important uh, simple machine which we are going to learn in this chapter is lever. First one was inclined plane, second one was the wedge. Now let's start about the lever. Children, a lever has got three parts. Remember that: effort, load and fulcrum. Now I'm going to explain you these three parts in detail. Which part is called as an effort, which one is called as a load, and which one is called as a fulcrum. Here a farmer in this picture, can you see, children? This farmer is removing a large stone, okay, and he is having one crowbar to remove this. It is very difficult for him to remove alone. Yes or no? How much weight also he applies, it is very difficult for that farmer to remove that stone alone. So that is why he has used this crowbar, and he has used one more stone. Can you see down? Okay, such a machine together. So machine lever is not made up of only one part, children. It is made up of three parts. Okay, this together which the farmer has used: crowbar, this big machine, big stone, this smaller stone, this together is called as a lever. So a lever is made up of three parts. First one is effort, second one is load, and third one is the fulcrum. Now let us see which part is called as an effort, which one is called as a load, and which one is a fulcrum. So pay attention, children. The support at which the rod of a lever is rested is called the fulcrum of a lever. Children, the rod is rested. Can you see, children? It is very difficult for this farmer to move this big stone. Okay, for that he has used this crowbar and he has rested that on this smaller stone. His rod is rested on this smaller stone. So this is giving support. Okay, this smaller stone is supporting this rod. So this part is called as a fulcrum. What it is called as a fulcrum. Okay, the second part, the weight lifted by a lever or the force against which the lever acts is called as a load. Now children, this is the weight. This bigger stone is the weight that he has to remove. Yes or no? So this one is called as a load. What it is called as a load. The person has to lift this weight. Yes or no? The arm of lever from fulcrum to the load. From this fulcrum to the load, this arm is called as a load arm. Okay. Now third part, the force applied on the other end of the rod to lift the load is called the effort. Now children, to remove this stone, the person is applying the force from here. Yes or no? He is applying a force. So this end is called as a effort. This one is called as a effort. Understood? This down one is a fulcrum. This one is a load, and this one is a upper end is called as a where he applies the force. That one will be called as a effort. So these are the three main parts. Okay, effort, load, and fulcrum. Children, here they have given some of the examples. Like first one, they have given a lifting a paperweight. Place a pencil on a table. Children, see here. You have to place a pencil on a table like this in center. Place a ruler, big ruler you have to take, okay, and place it on it. Put a paperweight at one end. Can you see? This is a paperweight, or anything you can take, a small stone, whatever. So put a paperweight at one end like this they have kept. Press the other end with your finger to lift the weight. You have to press. The person is applying a effort over here. So which are the load arm, effort arm, and fulcrum of this lever? Children, this is the weight, so this one is the load. This pencil is giving support, so this one is the fulcrum, and this one is the effort, because from this end he is trying to lift the weight. He is applying the force. Now go on increasing the distance between the paperweight and pencil. First you try from here, then you try from here, little bit. Go on keeping the distance. What will happen? Increase the distance between the paperweight and the pencil every time. See whether the paperweight can be lifted when placed at each of those distance. What do you find? As the effort arm becomes longer and longer compared to the load arm, less and less force is required to lift the paperweight. Such a lever is called lever of first order. Children, this is the lever of first order. Children, one more thing I have to tell you. Lever has got three parts we have seen. Similarly, lever has got three types also. It has got three types: first order lever, second order lever, and third order lever. So this example which we have seen now, lifting a paperweight, here what is in center? Fulcrum is in center and effort is on one side and load is on other side. So this is the lever of which order? First order. This is the lever of first order. And as you keep on increasing the distance between the paperweight and the pencil, what happened? You will find that load, if you keep this your finger at very last, you will be finding easier to lift the load as compared to if you keep it in the center or nearby to the pencil. So that is why the reason is that as the effort arm becomes longer and longer compared to the load arm, less and less force is required to lift the paperweight. Such a lever is called as a first order. Now second picture is of opener. Can you see this bottle opener? This one is a bottle opener. Children, okay, they are trying to open the sauce bottle. Try to do same yourself to remove the tight fitting cap. The opener is rested. Can you see? This is the opener is rested on this cap. Okay, the opener is rested and we apply force on the opposite direction. This, if you apply force opposite direction, definitely to open the cap. The cap also gets pulled up as the opener rotates about the fulcrum. Where are the fulcrum, load and effort in this case? Children, effort is here, load is in center now. Can you see? Load is in center, fulcrum on one side and effort on other side. Such a lever will be called as a second order type lever. Okay, where load is in center. This cap is a load now. Okay, and you will fulcrum is on the one side and effort from this side you will apply a force to remove the cap. So this is the second order lever. Similarly, see the third order lever. How do we lift an object using tongs? Can you see this third picture, picking up an object? Your mummy must be having that to roast the rotis like this. Okay, the weight or the load is at one end of, see, fulcrum is here, support is here, effort in between you have to apply a pressure to fry the rotis or to roast the rotis, and your roti is here, weight of the roti will be here, so that is the load. And this one is the effort is in the center, you have to apply the pressure from center, so effort, and here is the support, fulcrum. So such an order of the lever where effort is in center and fulcrum on one side and load on one side, that lever will be of third order. The weight or the load is at one end of the arms. We apply effort in the middle. It means the effort is applied in the middle of the lever while fulcrum and load are at the opposite ends. So there are, children, how many types of levers? Three types of levers. There are three parts also of the lever: fulcrum, load and effort. You can remember the word flea. Fulcrum, load and effort. These are the three types of the three parts of the lever. Similarly, there are three types of the lever depending on the position of the lever. I already explained you with the examples. So lever of first order, lever of second order, lever of third order. When the fulcrum is in center and load and effort are on the other side, this is the lever of first order. When the load is in center and fulcrum and effort on the other side, they are called as lever of second order. And when effort is in center and fulcrum and load on the other sides, first or second, that will be the lever of third order. Understood, children? So you can remember this word FLE for remembering three parts of the lever, that is fulcrum, load and effort. And there are again three types of levers, children: first order lever, second order lever and third order lever. You can give the above examples: paperweight, lifting paperweight. Second was this second order lever's example was removing the lead by bottle opener. Third one, picking up an object with pair of tongs. So these are the three types of levers depending upon the position of effort, fulcrum and load. If fulcrum is in center between load and effort, it is first order. If load is in center between fulcrum and effort, it is the second order lever. And if it is effort is in between the fulcrum and load, it is third order lever. So here we will end our chapter. In the next part we will see the remaining two simple machines, that is a pulley, a wheel and an axle, and how to maintain a machines. So till then, please go through the lesson from textbooks also, children. It's very important. You have to go through from the lesson from textbooks also.